Hello and welcome. My name's Joel with Yamaha Drums, and I'm here with Matt Rudin, the marketing manager for drums and DTX products. And we're here with the amazing DTX6 drum set. It's the brand new electronic drum set from Yamaha, and it's one of those things we introduced it just a couple of months ago, and this is kind of that intermediate set of electronic drums, replacing our 502 series. But boy, when we really started to dig into this, the module is got a lot of horsepower and it sounds really amazing. And it changes the entire feel of the kit, really. Some of the pads are familiar to people. You may have recognized some of this from the 502 and 500 series, but really what you're getting is a monster kit with this module behind it. And then again, this module is now going to work with our free Wreck and Share app. So it's super easy for you to make music videos of you and your favorite bands playing your DTX6 series kit. We have these really cool Kit Modifier knobs, which really makes, especially for creative types, or even an acoustic drummer that just wants to adjust things just a little bit, kind of get your own sound and create your own room and everything. It's really an amazing feature because instead of diving into the menus, I've really got a lot of power just at the fingertips with 3 knobs. Basically I can really just adjust things, make it sound the way I want. And even changing drums, in the module is very easy as well. Like if I want to change the floor tom or a cymbal or something like that, it takes just a few seconds. So it's really geared towards that customer that wants to drum like us. We're acoustic drummers, and one of the things that I don't really want to be doing, when I sit down and play, is I don't really want to be programming a module. I just want to sit down and play, maybe tweak a few things, and then play along with my favorite music. So I know it works for me, but Matt, who is this kit for? Who are we really looking, and who would really benefit from looking at the DTX6 series out there?
Yeah, pretty big spectrum on this, ranging from beginning up to intermediate and beyond. So really from the beginning drummer point of view, we do have our DTX402K series, which is still a great entry point for that beginning drummer. It's quiet, you can practice with confidence and not feel like you're disturbing people around you. But let's say you do want something with a little more punch. Maybe you're a little older in beginning, or you've got a little more money and you know that you're going to stick with it for a little longer. Your kids are going to stick with this for a little bit longer. They're passionate about it. The DTX6 is going to do that. It's going to fill that spot because not only does it have the same great training tools that the 402 has, the Wreck and Share app, compatibility, but it's also something you could grow into. So once you've kind of gotten your chops up and you're a little more confident, you do want to start sharing videos. This is a great kit to do that on, or maybe you've got some folks you want to mess around with and play a little bit. You can pair it with the MS45DR or some another monitor and sort of, really let it go, let it play out and share your sound, share your music. Then it goes up to intermediate drummers. Say, like I mentioned, say you're an acoustic drummer and you just want to start getting into electronic, but maybe there's a little hesitancy because you don't want to have to sit there and get into computer programming and worry about having your laptop open and all that stuff. You just want a kit that you can play, yet still get that electronic drum feel and still manipulate sounds and have a lot of fun with it from that end. This is a great kit for that because you can really do it, Joel, as you mentioned, with the Kit Modifier. It's all right there at your fingertips. So you can practice, and then you still have a kit that you could play out with if you wanted to. I mean, even if you still have your acoustic kit and you want to, just bring certain elements that have been in, you could break it down and use it as sort of, a hybrid kit along with some of your, your acoustic components. Say you're a little more advanced drummer and you got a home studio, especially now, we're not playing out as much, harder to get into the studio.
Right.
You got some bandmates you want to share your tracks with. There's also the higher level. If you've got, say, a house band at a church, this is a great kit for that. It's just reliable. It's going to do what you need it to do, and it's going to sound great every time. So, like I said, that's a huge range of folks that this kit is targeted for.
To add what you said, Matt, I really, as a drummer, tracking with music and things like that, typically electronic drums kind of find their way to sound a little strange with acoustic instruments. And I think to your point, whether it's live in a front of house or it's recording just through the Wreck and Share app and sending that as a scratch track for your band, the drums feel really organic and they blend really well with music. And I think this module really is on par with those VSTs out there. It's the cymbal resolution and all the sounds are such a high resolution that I think it blends really well no matter what your musical setting is. And like you said, the variety of sounds, I find this kit, it's really one of the first where you can play from kit 1 to 42 of the program kits, and you just have such a wide variety, but everything's really fun to play. and even almost kind of acoustic take, kind of a blend of acoustic and digital drums. And some of them are the kind of stacking cymbals on the drums and things that we're doing acoustically that we're now replicating with electronics. It's really modern in that way too. So I think it's got a really cool creative edge to it, no matter, being an acoustic drummer and just wanting acoustic sounds, or really wanting to blend and mix and kind of create your own sounds. So we have a really cool video with Joel Cassidy. He's an artist up in Yamaha, Canada, artist, and he's from Walk Off the Earth. Let's check out Joel Cassidy's video and hear more about the DTX6 series.
My biggest inspiration is hearing from young kids. Maybe I had a hand in helping them get into music with Woat. They saw a video of ours and they've hit me up, or their parents hit me up to ask, what do you suggest as a drum kit option for at home? And these are kids that have been inspired by my music, that I've been able to influence in the same way that my favorite artists when I was a kid influenced me. And that's definitely one of the biggest inspirations for me. The cymbals got to be my favorite. I love that you can actually choke the cymbals, and it's completely comparable to the real deal, which I absolutely love. The new kick controller has a phenomenal response to it. It genuinely feels and has the same sort of kickback as a real batter head on a real kick drum. It really is the next best thing to being on the road and to really laying into my Maple Custom Absolute kit, so Yamaha nailed it. Just having the ability to think of a part and to be able to press a button, plug 2 cables in, and go. And I can track something at home. I can send it up to our engineer in Dundas. He can cook something together, send it back to me. I'll do some dubs over it. I'll switch around on different kits. I'll use a percussion kit to add some extra touches. All so easy to do with this kit. This is the quietest electronic drum kit I've ever played when it comes to the actual room noise of it. My girlfriend is usually on my case when I'm jamming at home, but hasn't been the case yet, and I don't think it will be. So that's all good. And the neighbors, as long as I got a couple pads under me, I'm fine. When you are itching to get out there and rock your acoustic kit, the next best thing is to have something that sounds and feels great at home. I have found that with this beautiful piece of equipment right here, and I'm thrilled.
So let's talk about why the DTX6. Well, first of all, it's the high resolution sounds. We've talked a little bit about this, but one of the things that I realized right away is, first of all, the sounds and being in the room, the sounds. In the Kit Modifier, we have an ambient modifier, and it's basically taking the microphones that are close to the drums and then the microphones that are in the room, and you're able to mix those. And then to a certain point, the knob, as you get into past 51% of that knob, it starts to use proprietary Yamaha DSP to engage, kind of modifying those sounds to make the room even bigger. But what I noticed right away is when you sit down and you play any of the program kits, the resolution of the cymbals and the drums and even the positional sensing on the cymbal, the ride cymbal, is really extraordinary, because the drums have a feel to them that I've not experienced with pads of this size, really. And it changes the dynamics of playing a kit like this, because honestly, the dynamic range of the drum, the way the timbres change, the way you can kind of lay into the drum and pull out of the drum a little bit, it really creates a very acoustic and natural experience. And then I think the playability. I've been playing on TCS, Yamaha TCS, or textured silicone pads for years, and it took me a while to realize it. But after playing on them quite a bit, my hands feel like I'm more prepared to play acoustic drums. This having the textured silicone is really nice if you're playing a lot of fills, but for a lot of people that are just transitioning, maybe from their first electronic kit, or maybe they're just starting and beginning, a lot of your time is going to be spent on the snare, kick, and hat. And we've got a great kick tower, whether you get the KP90 or the KP65. They're super durable, they work, and they trigger really well. And when you get to these gum rummer pads, I think, they get a little bit of a bad rap because they've been around a long time. But the thing I always like about Yamaha is it's reliable and it triggers well, and you don't have to mess with it to make it work. And I think that's another thing that I find with the module and the pads and the hardware. the whole Yamaha system really makes it very playable. It's easy to work with. You're not fighting it to get it to do what you want.
Definitely.
All right, let's move on to some of the advanced training functions. The Rec and Share app, which is a free app for Android or iOS, is a fantastic way to engage your favorite music, play along with it. The USB stereo audio that's streaming out of the back of this sounds amazing. It's CD quality. And what you get is this great drum track of you playing with your favorite music. And you can even make those videos for your socials in seconds. In fact, you can take the Rec and Share and even text it to a buddy if you want to. Say, hey, check what I just played. And I've done that a few times. It's kind of fun. You don't really have to, you don't even have to leave your drum throne to send a high quality audio, video, and audio, to your buddy. So that's really cool. And then the Kit modifiers, again, being able to use the compression, the effects, and the ambient sound the way you can modify the sound of the drums to really find a unique sound, or even you can even slow that tune down and maybe play it a little more gritty, get a little more, kind of grit on the sound of the track that way as well. So I think the creativity, this makes it very easy for you to find those little things that might really work for you musically. The other thing that I'm kind of blown away with, and I think this is a big part of it for me, is that when you go into a module, typically you have a bunch of kits that you play. Those are the ones that you kind of stick with, and then you might want to change a snare drum, or you might want to change a bass drum, and we've made that very easy in this module. It's very easy to get around and actually do that. So what's really unique about that, importing your own WAV files, it's amazing. This module does it very easily. It's the easiest interface I've used to import your own sounds. And not only can it do that, but it can also do various layers of your sound. So if you have a snare drum that's maybe got 10 different dynamics to it, you can import all those different levels or dynamics and timbres of that drum as well. So there's some really cool features. It goes very deep when you get into 4 layers per sound, 4 layers per pad. So now I can actually stack 2 bass drums, or maybe I stack a tambourine on top of my snare drum, those kind of things. You can do multiple things like that, and you can alternate or stack that note. So you could actually play various percussion instruments in a group of 3 or 4 or 2, whatever you want to do. So there's a lot of creativity behind this. And what I'm always is I've used a lot of Yamaha products, and as they evolve, the ease of use with this really has become a bright spot, I think, for this, because it's not a big screen. And there's not a lot of knobs on there, but everything is right at your fingertips and makes it very easy to use. I think one of the things I think the next thing we should do is maybe we should play a video of Simon going through some of the features of the DTX6 series, and he's going to really show you how easy it is to get around on this module. So let's take a look.
The effects modifier allows you to turn up or down the amount of the 2 effects processors that you have on the whole kit. Now, you can send as much or as little to each effect processor as you want. You might want the snare drum going to one effect processor and your cymbals going to another effect processor. And you can do that very, very easily, and then you can just control the overall amount just by turning the effect modifier knob.
Yeah, had a lot of fun today. Glad everyone joined us. We love talking about drums, so we had a good time. Hope everyone out there enjoyed this as well.
Well, I had a great time too, Matt. It's great to just sit down and chat with you about drums and kind of how much we dig the DTX6 series. So thanks for being here, and thanks for everybody for joining us. We hope you had fun, and we've got a great artist video we want to share with you and take us out that way. So thanks again for joining us, and enjoy.